Welcome back, students, to our class of BA Part 1 English Literature. We have been studying paper 1, and this lecture is from one of the poems prescribed in section B, that is Our Casurina Tree by Toru Dutt. In the last videos, we read about the background of the poet and studied the first three stanzas of this poem. It's a long poem consisting of five stanzas, and we understood as we read the poem that how this tree, which may be an ordinary tree growing in our gardens, but how sometimes the associations from our childhood hold on for a lifetime, and they become associated with our past in a very dear way. And Toru Dutt is remembering this tree called Casurina tree, which was in her garden in her home in Calcutta. And this tree becomes such a important part of her childhood, more so because she lost her brother and sister at a very young age. And she remembers in this poem that how they used to spend her happy days in their childhood under the tree. And so, while remembering the tree, we find that finally the poet combines this association of love for the tree with the uh, childhood memories. So, in stanza 4, we find that she is remembering how the memory of this tree comes to her in a foreign land, because we read in her biography that she had lived along with her family. They had traveled abroad, and many years they had spent in European countries. So, even when far, far away from India and from her home, the memory of the tree holds dear to her and keeps coming to her when she is in the foreign land. So, in this stanza, this memory of the tree comes back to her, and let us see, after reading the stanza, that what holds in the stanza for the poet. Unknown, yet well known to the eye of faith. Ah, I have heard that wail far, far away in distant lands, by many a sheltered bay, when slumbered in his cave the water wraith, and the waves gently kiss the classic shore of France or Italy, beneath the moon, when earth lay tranced in a dreamless swoon. And every time the music rose, before mine in a vision rose a form sublime. Thy form, O tree, as in my happy prime I saw thee in my own loved native clime. So I think while reading this stanza, you can very well see certain familiarities between the words Toru Dutt is using, like eye of faith, or the inner vision, which remind us of the poetic theory formulated by William Wordsworth, a romantic poet. And in many terms, she seems to be that she has been influenced by the romantic poets, because she is recollecting the she is a nature poet in that sense, and how she associates memories with the elements of nature. So here she's talking about that time when she's in an unknown land, a foreign country. But what is even in this unknown land, a new land, something which is very dear to her, which is very well known to her, is which she can see from her eye of faith, though she cannot see the tree in front of her eyes because she's far away into another country, but she can easily um, see that in her vision through her eyes of faith. She can recall and remember that. And she also hears that wail, that cry from the tree, far, far away in distant lands, by many a sheltered bay, When slumbered means sleepily in his cave, the water wraith. So, what is water wraith? It's considered to be the spirit that lives in the water, which is notoriously known to drown the sailors on the sea. And when that water wraith is sleepily lying in his cave, and the waves are crashing on the shores of the um sea beach where she is standing in a foreign land of France or Italy underneath the light of moon. And this is the time when the earth during night full moon near a sea beach. So what she observes is that earth, the whole the people are sleeping, so everything is in a dreamless swoon means half swoon means when you're not fully conscious. So this is the time when everybody is sleeping, and as if the nature is sleeping too. So whenever the music of the crashing of the waves on the shore, uh, she hears that, she finds that every time the music of that waves or crashing on the shore arises, what she hears before mine inner vision rose a form sublime. So this crashing makes her remind her of the vision of that tree, and as if she's talking to that tree in this stanza, like a dialogue with the tree. Thy, your form, O tree, as in my happy prime when she was in her childhood, I saw you in my own loved native clime. So this also reflects Toru Dutt's love for her own country, though she is in a foreign land, but she is attached to her country, India, and her city and the home. So this stanza brings out her deep connection with everything native, her tree, her country, and the memory of the childhood days she had spent in her hometown, in her home under the Casurina tree. And the reverence, the sublimity of the tree she remembers reflects the kind of attachment and the value she pays to that tree. So basically, in this stanza, the poet is presenting an in depth connection with this casuarina tree, and how the present time when she is near the sea beach and the waves are coming, how this in a foreign land takes her to the sounds and the wails of the tree. And whenever this music of the waves she hears, it arouses the memory of the tree. So, this stanza reflects the deep connection of the poet with this tree, which we will see further on how this idea is carried towards the end in stanza 5 in our next class. So, meanwhile, do read this stanza and the whole poem up till now once again, underlining the difficult words, and we'll come back in our next class with the last stanza and the conclusion of this study of this poem, Our Casuarina Tree. Thank you.